I'm 135 days in now, and at this point, you don't make any more excuses for anything. And you start to look around you and you start to realize you can't relate to anybody anymore because everybody just makes all these excuses to why they're not where they want to be in life, why they can't obtain their goals. You know, someone came up to me at work the other day and started to tell me, like, man, I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to, get to the gym. I'm trying to do all this stuff, right? And I just tell them straight up, okay, just do it. Just start. And this is somebody who's done it before. You know, they used to play, professionally in school and all this stuff. Semi-professional, whatever. They used to be really good at sports in school. They used to run track. And then they tell me now they just can't anymore. Their metabolism has slowed down. Life is getting in the way. There's no optimal time. No optimal time, right? That's your excuse? We can't be for real. There's no optimal time to do anything, technically. There's no optimal time. There's no good time to get things done. So you have to make the time optimal. You have to make that just happen. You have to find the time for that. Everybody's busy. Everybody has work. Everybody has responsibilities, especially the older you get. It's very understandable. But you should get to a point. You should get to a point in time where you realize, hey, I have to manage my time a little bit more proper if I want to hit my goals. Otherwise, don't make no fucking excuse to why you can't do it. Don't even talk about it. You start to talk about it. Oh, I should do this. I should start going to the gym. And then instantly you just start talking yourself out of it. Oh no, but I got this obligation. Oh man, it's not right for me. Man, I'm not even that type of person. I can't do all that. That's for somebody else. That's for somebody who can actually do it. That's not for me, man. You have to just assume that you are somebody that is capable of doing whatever you set out to do before you even do it. That's how you achieve things in life. Just assume that you can and become the person that is capable. And then make the time, put in the proper fucking effort to actually get it done, and you will. If people actually put in the time and effort into the things they actually wanted to do, to the things they actually wanted to get done, they would get it done. There's no such thing as luck. People don't just get lucky. That's not a real thing. That's a coping mechanism that we invented. As humans, we invented that coping mechanism that, oh yeah, people just get lucky. People just have a lucky break. They only get lucky because they showed up. They showed up when they weren't lucky. They showed up all the time. And we're getting ready for the moment that they did get quote unquote lucky. Because by that time, they were more than ready to just execute on the opportunity. You get lucky all the time, but you're not ready for the opportunity. So then nothing comes out of it. It's like if you run into, I don't know, a multi-millionaire, and he's giving you all this advice on, where you should put all your money. You should put it in stocks. You should put it in, you should start buying properties and all this stuff. But if you weren't putting in the work already, if you didn't already have money on the side, then that lucky opportunity could present itself for, the right proper information to where to park your money, but you haven't been putting in the work to acquire that money, to be ready for the opportunity to be lucky, you know? Same idea with Bitcoin right now. You could have been, preparing to put your money into crypto or whatever right now. You could have been preparing for years. You had preparation. And then one day when Bitcoin is inevitably at like $1 million, you would have been, you're gonna be like, oh man, I should have invested, I should have, but you weren't ready for the opportunity because you haven't been putting in the work. Just put in the work and you'll buy a byproduct. Be prepared for the opportunity. Like once that opportunity comes, you'll be prepared, you'll be ready, and you'll supersede your expectations every single time. So as long as you're actually putting in that work, things will come about. The opportunities will present themselves. And then you'll be ready to go. But you actually genuinely have to put in the work. People bullshit themselves all the time. Oh yeah, I'm putting in 100% effort, bro. But you're not. You're not. You're still taking vacations, still taking time off, still leaving work early. You're still, whatever it is, you're not putting your all in. You're skipping workouts because, you worked real hard during that day, during your shift. I could skip a workout. That's okay. That's fine. What do you mean that's fine? Then you're not giving it your all. And that's okay. If you want to have a little bit more balance, that's fine. But don't say that you're giving it your all if you're not. If you're not trying to learn while you're working 24/7, if you have an opportunity to wear headphones at work or something like that, or on your lunch breaks, you have the opportunity to sit down and learn something. So then you can apply it within a couple years once you have a good bit of money stacked up because you've been doing the right habits. You've been working towards getting a better job to make a better income in order to put that money into something better and make your money eventually work for you. You think you're just supposed to sit down and work a job for the next 40 years, 40, 50, 60 years of your life? Like that's life? That's life to you? When if you just put it all in the right place right now, over a long period of time, slowly but surely, you can retire way quicker than that. And you don't even have to be making some sizable amount of money. You could be making 80, 90K a year and retire within a 10-year time frame if you just do it the right way. But no, you're going to start making that money and then you're going to start spending all of that money. What if you just did the right things from the start and stopped making the fucking excuses? Right? And actually budgeted and actually invested your money proper? Then you would never worry about money again. Right? It's just people make fucking excuses all the time as to why they deserve, that $7 coffee. I deserve that. I worked hard. You deserve that? I mean, if you could actually afford it, if it works in your budget, okay. But if you're doing that with everything, you feel like you deserve just a treat for everything, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're fucking up your own life. When you could slowly be moving in the right direction, slowly but surely. That's the part people miss. It is a slow process sometimes. It could be a 10, 15-year process. But on the other side of that, if you started early enough, if you started in your early 20s, by the time you're in your mid-30s, you have the rest of your life to just enjoy it and do whatever the fuck you want. because now you can retire because you didn't make the excuses. You're in great shape because you didn't make excuses. You never compromised your health. All right? You didn't start, smoking cigarettes because you needed it, Oh, work is stressful. I need it, you know? Oh man, I started years ago. I can't get rid of this habit. I need it. I need it. I need it. And then that just becomes the person that you are, somebody that needs things, somebody that can never obtain things. If that's how you think all the time, that's what you're going to become. So if you want to become something better, much greater, you just have to believe that you are meant for that, like truly. And you will only believe that if you put in the right proper habits every single day. And then you show yourself that you are worthy of a life like that. Because you put in the work, you put in the right habits, and you don't make the fucking excuses. Same thing with semen retention. At first, it was more to, kick that first just addiction part of it. But now it's just, I kicked every addiction from my life. Because of it, my life has gotten significantly better. And I'm properly just trying to transmute that energy and all of that. But it started from just baby steps, day by day. First couple days, first couple weeks. And then eventually, you just keep on going. And you keep on making progress. But you're not hyper fixated on the result anymore. You're not hyper fixated on the day to day. You just put in the work day in and day out, and because you're guaranteed the result if you just do that. So why make the excuse that you can't, right? Anybody can do it. Anyone can make it happen at any point. Why do you think your dreams are actually unachievable? It's because people told you that it's not possible for you. Because they couldn't fucking do it. Because they were fucking losers and gave up on their dreams or never had fucking dreams. Right? But you're different. You have dreams. You have aspirations. And as long as you develop yourself in a way to do the right thing all the time. And I'm not talking about some moral like high ground right thing. No, I'm talking about if you do the right thing for yourself, if you do the proper steps necessary to fix your life will start to fix itself. If you do the things you know you need to do, the results will come. You don't like your job? Try to find a new one. Maybe your skill sets are at lack. Develop your skill sets and understand these things are going to be hard and going to take time. But that's part of the process. And if you really want it, and if you are really just over that suffering and that pain of just being so fucking inadequate, then you'll start to make progress. You'll start to really try to change yourself and get it done, no matter what. And then you stop making the excuses. And then you start to truly just grow rapidly as a person because of this. I've grown so much because I just started doing all the right habits. Everything that I've been, pushing away and coping with and telling myself, oh no, it's okay to do this. It's okay to... No, I just stopped doing it. And then over time, that compounds. And then you look back within, even a 6-month span of time and you're like, wow, I made a crazy amount of progress. And I feel like I'm just getting started. And then you think about that in a 10-year time span, and man, you're going to be fucking unstoppable. You're going to accomplish some of your dreams within that time span. 100%. Because now you're somebody who believes that they are capable of it. Because you showed yourself proof of that. You told, like with semen retention, you told yourself, okay, I'm going to stop jerking off. And then if you actually succeed in that, it's going to be enough proof of concept. Like, wow, I'm just not so addicted to lust anymore. I could just think proper. I actually did it, you know? I got something done that I told myself that I would, and I did it. And then that's going to propel you forward into any other endeavor that you go into with a positive frame of mind that you can do it. Because you overcame the hardest aspect of, what was holding you back. It's the hardest thing to overcome as a man is lust. And once you sort of overcome it, it's always going to flash in your mind, a little bit of lust here and there. But you learn how to control that much better the deeper you go into the journey. So once you realize, like, wow, I conquered lust, the hardest thing ever, I could fucking do anything. That was my biggest vice. That was my biggest, downfall. And I figured out how to, fix that. I can do anything. And then that's how you move through life from that point on. And that's why your life on semen retention just gets better. Just gets so much better. And then, of course, you have the esoteric, attraction on your side, energy on your side, and all of that. So all of that combined is just a recipe for absolute success. And you can't be stopped on semen retention. As long as you keep pushing and keep transmuting and keep in your head all the time what your goals are and don't fall back on them, you will win. You will win. I'm telling you right now, with a long enough time frame, you will win. That's why I'm going to go on this journey for such a long time until I accomplish my goals. And then go on from there. And then see if I even feel like I need it anymore, Because at that point, I'll feel like I won. Like I did it. Like, what is there more to conquer? Even though I always want to conquer something. But at that point, maybe I could ease back, fall into just, females again for a little bit. But I'll see what happens. Maybe at that point, I just want to keep going. I want to keep evolving and getting better. Because that's when I have that mentality on this journey, and I'm not all caught up in lust, because sometimes, some days I'll be super lustful, and that will stall me out a little bit. But then once I get back to really just focusing on my dreams, they start, ramping up again, rapidly. Everything just starts working again rapidly. So you have to develop a sort of focus on this, not make any excuses, and just go full throttle at it. But you have to stop making excuses even with this, with semen retention. Like, if you want to do it, if you want to try it out, if you want to start it, just start it. Just keep on trying, right? And then if you really want it, you will do it. You will get there. And then you'll learn along the way, how to utilize this energy and all that good stuff. But up until that point, you have to just focus on the things that you want. Because time is gonna just keep on unraveling right in front of your eyes. And if you don't take control of that, your life will just be over before you know it, So you gotta be real proactive in making that change in your life that you want to make. And anything is possible. If somebody's done it before, especially, you can do it. And even if someone's never done something, You know, you want to make some sort of invention that doesn't exist yet. Be the first one to do it. Be the one to invent it. Nothing is impossible in this reality. If your mind can think of it, it is possible. Okay? I love you guys like always. Stor.